What's going on, everybody? We're doing two videos today. This is the second of those two videos. We got the Packers versus the Vikings here. A Sunday game played in Minnesota. Both teams are coming off of victories this past weekend. The Vikings played on Monday night against the Bears and got a victory there. It wasn't a pretty victory, but they got the victory nonetheless. This offense actually looks better with Case Keenum for some reason. Well, the offense looked good with Sam Bradford in week 1, but the offense has continued to roll with Case Keenum in there. They lost Dalvin Cook 2 weeks ago. That running game it's not the same with Dalvin Cook. We'll just say that. Now the Packers played on Sunday against the Cowboys. They got a victory there. Clutch play from Aaron Rodgers right there at the end of that game, proving again why he's the best quarterback in the NFL in my opinion. Now this is a divisional matchup here, which means there is going to be some hatred between these two teams. There's some key things to look forward to here. The Packers have played the last couple games without both of their starting tackles here. They have had a different starting offensive line in every single game that they've played. So that is something to look at here with that Vikings pass rush led by Everson Griffin, Danielle Hunter, and Linval Joseph. Those are guys that can get after the quarterback. And the Vikings defense is one of the better defenses in the league. They have a lockdown corner in Xavier Rhodes. They have a pass rush. And they have solid linebackers with Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr. Their secondary is underrated. They need to find a way to get to either elevate Trey Waynes here to be a better number 2 corner, or look at another corner in the draft coming up. Terrence Newman has still played good for them over the last couple of years. He's up there in his late 30s, I believe, and he still gives you quality snaps. For the Packers, though, on the flip side, they are going to spread you out, but they might have found something with Aaron Jones here playing running back. He had I know it's the Cowboys defense. Their rush defense has been horrendous this year, but Aaron Jones played really good. He ran for over 120 yards, I believe, and he played really solidly. I would not be surprised to see Ty Montgomery move back to receiver, given the injuries that Jordy Nelson has had in his career. Randall Cobb has had injuries in his career. Devontae Adams has missed games in his career. Ty Montgomery brings that versatility that they like. On the flip side for the Packers defense, this defense is very average. Got pushed around in that Dallas game, but they found a way to come through and win the game there. Not saying that this defense cannot win this game against the Vikings, which they can, because I don't like the Vikings' skilled positions outside of Stephon Diggs, and especially missing Dalvin Cook sucks for them. But their offensive line has improved dramatically from last year to this year. So looking at 3 key matchups in this game here. Let's go ahead and start with that Vikings defense versus Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers does a lot of things that a lot of quarterbacks don't do. He extends plays. He makes his receivers better. Imagine putting Aaron Rodgers on a team that had 2 great receivers. Let's say they put Aaron Rodgers on the Falcons. Aaron Rodgers would be a monster with Julio Jones. I'm not saying Jordy Nelson's bad, Devontae Adams is bad, Randall Cobb's bad. I'm not saying those guys are bad. They're just not elite receivers in my opinion. They're not in the top 10, top 15 for me, personally. But Aaron Rodgers does a lot of things that makes this team go. Aaron Rodgers goes, this team goes. Now, the Vikings defense prides itself on getting pressure, getting off the field on 3rd down, and being able to stop the other team. Xavier Rhodes is going to take out one of those receivers. The only problem is that Trey Waynes has been a little grabby. He does get a little bit of some defensive holding every now and then. And having to rely on an older Terrence Newman to give you good snaps against somebody like Randall Cobb is a bit of an issue for me personally. But if they can get pressure on Rodgers, they have a chance. Number 2, the Vikings' run game against the Packers' defense. Now, in order to be this, Pat Shurmur, the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, is a West Coast guy. But he's given Case Keenum the ability to win games here. I think that they would be better served with Sam Bradford playing. He had a great week 1 where he found Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. Those guys had huge games. Dalvin Cook ran for big holes in that game. They did play against the Saints, but they still looked great. Now, key to this game is going to be finding a way to use that running game to their advantage and getting the play action game going. with Stephon Diggs, with Thielen, with Michael Floyd, who just played last on Monday off of a suspension, using Kyle Rudolph. You know, play action is a huge advantage in the NFL because it opens up the opportunity for big pass plays. So, you know, if they're able to get Jerick McKinnon going, it could be a huge advantage for the Vikings later on in the game when the play action opens up. The third key matchup in this game is going to be Xavier Rhodes versus any receiver he matches up with. I think he'll travel with Jordy in this game, in my opinion. If he locks down Jordy enough for most of this game, I could see him moving on to Devontae Adams. Both of those guys are big, lanky, physical receivers. They're not going to burn you with speed, but they can catch the ball and make things happen. Xavier Rhodes is a lockdown corner, in my opinion. He's one of the more underrated, underappreciated corners in this league, and I can see him finding a way to make something happen, maybe causing an interception. Aaron Rodgers is not afraid of any corner in this league he will throw at you. So if he throws it at Xavier Rhodes, I expect Xavier Rhodes to make some type of play on the ball, maybe cause an interception. You know, you don't really see Aaron Rodgers turn the ball over, but could happen. Moving on to 3 reasons why here. Let's go with the Packers. 3 reasons why the Packers will win this game is Aaron Rodgers stays as Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. Plain and simple. That Packers defense shuts down the Vikings passing game. Not even just their running, their passing game. If you turn a team into just a one-dimensional thing, you're not going to win that game at all, especially with just passing or just running. If the Packers can get off the field on 3rd down and cause the Vikings to stay in unmanageable down and distance, they'll win this game. And the 3rd reason is Aaron Jones. I'm going to assume that Aaron Jones starts this game. Ty Montgomery is battling broken ribs. I don't like a running back playing with broken ribs. It just doesn't work out. They do tend to take a lot of extra hits. So if Aaron Jones plays this game, I can see him going off in this game. You know, the Vikings pride themselves on their defense, you know, especially their run game. But if Aaron Jones plays, I can see him having 80 yards, you know, on limited touches here, like 16, 17 touches. If he does that, the Packers will for sure win this game, I think. If the Packers can have any semblance of a run game, it helps Aaron Rodgers immensely. Now for the Vikings, 3 reasons why they'll win this game. They'll get 6 sacks in this game. Obviously, a lot of it depends upon the Packers offensive line. They have, like I said, they have started a different offensive line in every single game. So, looking at Everson Griffin, Donnell Hunter, Linval Joseph, those guys, to get pressure, if they're able to get pressure, they can cause some huge issues for Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, Vikings find a way to get Stephon Diggs involved. Des Bryant was having a good game last week. Whitson had a pretty good game, and Bryce Butler had a pretty good game in the passing game for the Cowboys. The Packers secondary is one of the worst, in my opinions, in the league. Looking to get Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen involved, Kyle Rudolph too. If those guys can just keep marching down the field, stay ahead of the chains, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, you have a chance to win this game. And the 3rd reason is the Vikings run game. Now without Dalvin Cook, I don't see them having much success. But if Jerick McKinnon is able to have 70 to 85 yards in this game, I think that it puts him in a position to win this game because Shermer will use the play action to his advantage in this game, like they did in Week 1. So there's that. My prediction for this game is the Packers are going to win. They're going to stay atop the NFC North. I think that they'll win this game. I think that the Vikings defense will hold. I think that they'll win this game 27 to 17. I don't like the Vikings offense as much as other people do without Sam Bradford, without Dalvin Cook. So there's some issues there. I like their defense though. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. 27-14. I like the Packers in this game. On the road in Minneapolis. Thanks for watching. I'm out. More game previews coming later this week. Peace.